that Anthem has been working with the community for almost 18 years. That's a
Yes.
long time to give that level of service. So how did this begin? And talk to us about what was in your head when you started this.
You've asked me this at different times, trying to reach in
Trying
and
to
grab
piece it together.
Yeah. And before this, I was in private practice with my husband, with marriage and family degrees, and seeing couples and individuals, teens. And I don't know, all my life, I have really wanted to serve as many people as we could get. And in private practice, actually, part of the story is my husband wound up having 5 bypasses all of a sudden. And
That's a lot.
That's a lot. And we had this little child. And it was me looking at what I was doing and knowing I was probably going to take more of a central point in our family working. And one thing and another got put together. I was interested in learning some things, and in different things that happened in the community, wound up getting with several community leaders who were asking the question that Congress was asking: what goes on with families? What goes on with adults? What goes on with children, teens? How do we get this better? And during that time, they wound up through a bipartisan, you don't hear that word much, through a bipartisan act, put together some things they wanted. They wanted people to know ways to move out of poverty, and it not to be a lifestyle, but a phase that they went through.
Breaking those cycles of generational poverty that we've talked about.
Right. It not passing from one to the other, because that's what it had started out. And with all the bad and good and ups and downs that Congress or presidents had tried, it just was what it was. And so they want to know how to do that. And so they put out a call for some grants. Now, I write, but I wasn't a grant writer. And so all this was me learning from things. And we turned in a grant, and lo and behold, we won. And I called one of them. They were across the nation. And I called Larry McDowell at HHS Region 6, and I said, "This is a trick." And he's like, "Well, what are you talking about?" I said, "Now we have to do it."
Right.
And I was sort of like, I don't know, And it was like knocking on the door and saying, "Lisa, can we please?" Just didn't know what to do. It was quite a world at that time. But from that, I always say I'm the one who's made most of the mistakes. And from that, the good thing is that I make so many mistakes, I've learned to learn from them, at least eventually. And so I think through my learning, through all my mistakes, is maybe one thing that helps. And I just got more and more clear, probably with the help of the feds, because I think they began getting more and more clear about what they were wanting, what they were asking for, and finding people who had the same heart.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, began putting together a team that worked. Now, that took several years, I do think.
Of course it did. Of course it did.
Went through a lot of different people, but it just is so amazing now to have the team that we have, the people that we have who are so passionate about what they're doing, in the heart.